Hello, world. Hello. I'm here to read another poem, and this is a poem that I found at Triggerfish Journal, and so I will post a link somewhere so that if you wanted to kind of read it for yourself, it'll be available to you. This is a poem called "Crossing," and it's by Gary Lark. Here's the poem. And in the dust and ashes, there lies the victim of thought, sprawled, with its little engine trying again and again to connect the axiom to the acton. The human tree may have grown its last branch, and we are hacking at it with a sharp saw. We have excellent tools. Crossing by Gary Lark. So, I like this poem by Gary. I think he does a really good job with it. 2 stanzas. The first stanza is 1 sentence. The second stanza is 2 sentences. And so the form of this is a free verse poem. And so that first stanza is, and in the dust and ashes, there lies the victim of thought sprawled with its little engine trying again and again to connect the axiom to the acton. And then the second stanza, the human tree may have grown its last branch, and we are hacking at it with a sharp saw. We have excellent tools. Just wanted to point out a couple of things for this that I think that are interesting, at least to me. It starts with the word and. We start with the word and, which is a conjunction. And so to me, it seems that there is, this first stanza is 1 sentence. We're starting with the word and. So that means that we're coming in, there's something happened before, or maybe this is not 1 sentence, but maybe like half a sentence. Something happened, or some thought, or something, and in the dust and ashes. There's just something that's unsaid here before the poem even begins. Like if we had said the word but at the beginning, but in the dust and ashes. Just the same kind of an idea. There's something that is before this poem that is unsaid. And this is the other thing in that first stanza that I want to point out, which is very interesting. The last line, the axiom and the acton. The axiom and the acton. There's not a lot of alliteration in this poem. Actually, there's basically none, except for this line, the axiom and the acton. And even if there was more alliteration, if you're going to have the axiom and the acton in the same line, you should probably pay attention, because that's some specific alliteration. AX, AX. It just draws the eye. What is an axiom? I had to look up these 2 words just to make certain that I was right. Okay. Axiom, something that is assumed to be true without proof. It's just something that we assume. So if you're going to prove a theorem or other, maybe something mathematical, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, they are, they work in certain ways. And so they just assume we don't have to prove that 1 + 1 = 2. We just take it as a given that when you add 2 numbers together, you get an answer that, is expected. So there's all kinds of other axioms as well. It's just things that are so true, you don't have to prove them all the time, right? And then we have an axon. which is a cell that transmits to a nerve, transmits information to a nerve. So if you put your finger on a hot plate and it's warm, you know, that sensation is transmitted, that information is transmitted to your nervous system through an axiom, or sorry, through an actin. I'm getting them mixed up. Through an actin, right? So, and in the dust and ashes, there lies the victim of thought. The victim of thought. Sprawled, so it's on the ground, with its little engine. Okay, the victim of a thought is trying, with its little engine, again and again, to connect the axiom, the true thing, to the actin, the nervous system, the thing that will take it to your brain, the thing that'll transmit the sensation or the truth to the nervous system. So it's the victim of thought. So this idea, an idea, is trying to connect the truth with the information being transmitted to your brain, to your nervous system. And it's not happening. It's trying to connect it, but it's not connecting it. So I think that's just a wonderful first of two stanzas. And then the second stanza, to me, looks like a little bit more of a straight ahead metaphor, right? The human tree may have grown its last branch. The human tree, probably, pretty safe to say, humanity, our place in the world, humankind, whatever it might be. The human tree may have grown its last branch, and we are hacking at it with a sharp saw. We have excellent tools. So humanity may have grown its last branch. So there are no other branches. We have one branch left, and we are sawing at it with a sharp saw. We have excellent tools. So maybe there's more than a saw out there, but there's other things that we could use. So for me, that's a pretty straight ahead metaphor that we're trying to remove the last branch of humanity. Humanity is trying to eliminate himself. And so there are myriad ways that we can do this. And I think that a range of interpretations is probably fine. I think that ideally what you're looking at is things that are humanly caused. In like the 1970s, 80s, it might have been nuclear war. Maybe now it would be climate change. I think that both of those types of interpretations, but our own human activity are excellent tools to eliminate ourselves. Anyway, crossing. The title is a little bit baffling to me, but great poem by Gary Lark. We'll see you again next time.